All right, folks, so welcome back to this video series where we're making the animatronic horror character. So first things first, up in the top right, let's go to make sure we're on General Workspace, choose Reset Current. Then let's go to File, Set Project, look for your Fred project, hit Set. Then let's do, if you haven't already done it, do an open scene and find your Fred 4 file. Then do a Save Scene As. And let's call it Fred 5. All right, so at this point, we're looking in our perspective view, we've kind of got his shoulder created. If I look at the side view, I see a couple little blemishes that I don't like that I'm going to tweak real quick. You'll notice this side of his arm doesn't quite go all the way, so what I'm going to do is grab vertex mode. I want to see what this looks like from perspective view. I do not like that at all. So let's undo that. And we may actually try to select. I'm going to grab my selection tool, the lasso. In the side view, I'm going to drag a selection around all of those. And then maybe even grab my selection tool, select these top ones here. And actually, I'm going to deselect, sorry. And deselect because these almost get to the point. So I'm going to shift and deselect those. Make sure it didn't select anything else. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and try to pull those over a little. Then I'm going to deselect this row, pull the next part, deselect this row, pull, deselect, pull, deselect, pull, deselect. And let's see if that looks a little better from the side. Does it look like when I click away? It's starting to look a little better. Um, and so you'll want to clean that up a little bit. I may actually try to grab vertices, these ones right here, and bring those over to where they kind of fill that space there. Then maybe look at the backside's not as bad. We've only got a few that are a little off. So let me just try grabbing these and pull those. And then let's click away, go to object mode. And I kind of like that. That's a lot better. Now, we could spend a lot of time cleaning that up, but you'll have the time to do that. Let's see. Then down here, I'm going to go this vertice, pull it back a little to make more of a curve there. Okay. All right. So now we've got his arm. If I go to make my front view bigger, go to shading and turn off X-ray. Doesn't look too bad. I'm actually kind of happy with that. If I do the same thing, shading X-ray on the side, kind of happy. I'm going to grab his torso, press H, turn that back on. It's coming along. All right, I'm going to wait to do the joint there. I think we'll go to do his, let's do a leg actually now. Let's start with the leg. Then maybe we'll do, in the next video, we'll do that. So let's try to do a leg here. And again, just a reminder, we are just trying to do this more like a action figure where it has the little cylinders with a ball joint on it that kind of pops into place. We're going to do something more like that. I think maybe later on I may do something a little fancier where we come back in and make the actual, in this case, like the, I don't know if you'd call that a, not a gear, but a little pivot point. We may come back and try to do those later. But for right now, let's go ahead and put this back to shading, X-ray, shading, X-ray. Gonna go up here, make sure you're under modeling, choose poly modeling, create a cylinder. And in my front view, I'm gonna go ahead and zoom in on my front view. Gonna scale this guy down, drag it over. Actually, before we do that, see what angle that's at. No, we'll just do it all from scratch. It's good practice. So I'm gonna bring this, kind of line it up. Rotate it some to try to get that edge to kind of match up a little better. Then I'm going to go to vertices, grab all those at the top, grab my rotate tool, rotate them to kind of fit the angle, bring it in. I may even do this angle a little bit. It's not a big change, but it'll work. Okay. And then I'm going to go to object mode, go to side view. Now here's where we run into a little issue with our view in that we can't see past our little guy's hand. So we're gonna have to kind of play it as a guessing game a little bit. But I can go to vertex mode, select those top ones. I can scale it up this way to try to get it close to the size there and then just move it into place. Then I can grab these, do the same thing, scale them up, move them into place. I gotta go up a little more. Now let's look at that from the perspective view. Not bad, I guess. So with this, what I think we'll do is we'll make this leg pivot on a ball here, the knee will pivot here, and I think we will put a pivot point on the ankle, and we may even do the wrist and hand as a separate piece as well, just to give them a little more control. But let's go to our front view again. And I'm going to go to edge mode, go to mesh tools, insert edge loop. I'm going to go and kind of put a few of them in here. So click and hold left mouse button, hold it in place. Then we will grab our selection, select the first one there, shift select the others, scale it up some, move it into place, do the next one, scale it up some, maybe pull it over just a hair, kind of match that shape of his leg. Then we'll take a look at it on the other side, and that actually kind of scaled up nicely. So I think we're good with that. So now what we'll do, I'm kind of wondering this one, let's look at that. So that will, if it pivots, let me go to object mode, if it pivots, we're gonna pivot on this. So we may have to adjust his arm a little bit, but we'll take a look at that when we get to the point of setting things up. We may have to kind of fold this up some so that the arm can pivot out without cutting through it. We'll deal with that in a little bit. All right, so this one we want it to pivot on here. So I'm going to go to the top here, selection tool, face mode, select all of my faces on the top. Hit Control E to extrude, then grab one of your scale tools, and then scale from the center point. Then we're going to do Control E again, scale it up, kind of go inside the body there. And then even though it's hidden in there, I'm going to still put a sphere on top in case it moves out of the body at all. It'll look like a nice, clean, rounded end. So I'm going to go to, actually, I'm going to go to object mode, create a sphere, to move it up, go into here, scale it down some with the scale tool, start moving it into place, rotate it to kind of match the angle a little better. Get it close, rotate the angle some. And then we're going to go to face mode, grab my selection tool, and I'm going to create a selection, all of that, hit delete. Then I'm going to go to perspective view. So I know it's going to need to modify some. So I'm going to go to object mode. And let me try to scale it in a little more this way. Then I'm going to go to the side view. And I'm going to scale it up this way some. See if that's a little closer. It's a little closer. Bring it up a little more. Then we'll bring it back some to cover up the top of there. All right. So then I'm going to take that sphere and I'm going to hide it real quick. Go to here, go to face mode, hit delete if those are already selected. If not, go ahead and select them. But delete those top faces. Bring back your sphere by pressing H again with it selected. Shift click this piece, go to mesh, combine, then go to vertice mode. Now in this case, I can't really see the vertexes on all of them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the inside of it. And wherever I see the vertices, I'm just going to drag a box around them. Then do edit mesh, merge to center. And I'll just keep doing that. And so by being on the inside, I don't accidentally drag across any vertices on the outside or on the other side of it. So I'll kind of work my way around. So as you come around, just kind of finish them up. I think I'm getting close. Then you could tell if you've already been at one by just selecting it and moving it. If it brings the other part with it, you know they're joined. All right, so now we got that. So I want to get rid of those. So I'm going to go up here, hit clear history, gets rid of it, freeze transformation, modify center pivot, and I will call this, we'll just call it top leg. And so when we make the waist area, that little ball should pivot right inside of it. All right. Now let's see what else we can do. And I may, on these, I'm thinking about it now, I may go back and we may add in, since we've got a ball here, we may add a ball on the other end. That way, or something, that way the ball looks like it's sitting inside of it for when it pivots. But for right now, let's go ahead and we'll start the bottom leg section. So let's go ahead and create a cylinder, make our front view bigger, scale it down proportionately for right now, move it over into place. Let's go ahead and scale it up to where it touches the edges real quick, and we'll scale it vertically, move it into place. Then I'm going to go to the side view. Oops, no, darn it. Oh, you accidentally mess up your view, just go to panels, orthographic side to put it back. I accidentally held the wrong button. Now I'll go back to side view, and I'm going to go ahead and go in here, go to vertices, or actually let's rotate the whole thing first. Get that one kind of lined up. Then let's move it. Now let's go to vertices, grab this top portion, rotate it, move it into place. We'll do the same thing down here a little bit, small rotation, scale it up, move it into place. Then we'll go to object mode, insert edge loop. We'll put one about right there because I can already see it on the side view. And then we will go to our lasso tool, go to vertex mode, drag a box around it. Then I'm going to do the lasso tool around this one. Grab my scale tool, scale that one up. Then we'll go look at these. May actually grab this and kind of scale it down widthwise over here. Oops, that's going to have some trouble there. Yeah, it's selecting some of the bottom ones. So I'm going to use the side view and the lasso to select those. And I'm going to bring them in this way, bring them over and up. May even scale them a little more on the side view. All right. And so now that we've got that, I'm going to go ahead and The face mode, shift select all these. So I'm gonna grab my selection tool. Do Control E, grab the scale box, then grab the center scale. Then I'm gonna just scale it down some. Then I'm gonna hit Control E again, pull that one up. Trying to get it close to the top leg piece. Go to side view. I may even, with it selected, rotate it a hair to kind of level it out. And let's grab the scale tool and just kind of, oh, it's not going to let me do it that way, that easy. So I'm just going to rotate it again, trying to get it as close to level as possible. There we go. Then we go to object mode. I'll select this one, press H to hide it. Gonna go create myself another cylinder, or not a cylinder, sorry, a sphere. Oops. Bring it up. I'm gonna scale it down, trying to get it lined up with this, the top of this one. I want to get about half the sphere lined up there. Go to the front view. Try to bring that one over as well. I'm gonna go out of X-ray real quick. See how close they are to. I may do a scale it inward a little to try to get to where I can see the edges of both. Shift it over, then go back to X-ray mode. I'm gonna right click on it and choose vertex. I'm gonna select all, oh, not vertex, sorry, face. Select all these faces above, or sorry, below the center line there. Hit delete. Go back to object mode. With our cylinder here, I'm gonna actually select my sphere and hide it. Select this cylinder, go to face mode. If they're already selected, awesome. If not, shift click them all. Hit delete. Go back to object mode. And then bring back our sphere by pressing H. Let's make sure everything is pretty close to lining up. So let's select both, hit mesh combine. I'm going to go to perspective view again, go back inside, or actually I can see most of these. So I'll go to vertex mode, select them, edit mesh, merge to center, edit mesh, merge to center. I'm going to work my way around. Keep going all the way around the object, doing edit mesh, merge to center once you've selected the points. And if we really wanted it to look more like the action figure, we could have kept more of the sphere, the lower part, and brought it up some more to make the little really big distinct ball joint that the little action figures have. but I think we'll be able to make this work. And again, we're not making the exact replica due to copyright, so we're just using that as a reference for making a horror animatronic character. We'll go inside on this one. Is it? Oh, it's on that side. I think it's right there. And I think I've done most of these, but then I'll try grabbing this one. Just see, yeah, that one's done. So I'm gonna go back over here real quick. Think they're all good to go. So now I've got the little ball joint in there. I'm gonna go ahead and bring back my top leg by pressing H. And if I rotate back around to where this front is facing me, my perspective will be good. If I turn off X-ray shading on this side, we notice that it kind of needs to shift over some. So what I'll do is go back to shading X-ray, go to vertex mode, and I'm going to select all those vertices and pull it over some. And then I'm going to rotate it some and shift it over again a little more. And rotate it a little. Now let's go back to object mode. Let's turn back shading, turn shading X-ray off. And so now we've got kind of where he'll pivot inside of his leg. Now we'll add some color, and we're going to try to do the color strictly in Maya. But we'll add some color to make where the metal joints would be, or the brown joints versus the darker colored joints. All right. So I think we are going to stop there for now. Now that we've got kind of a leg started, let's go ahead and actually, whoops, one more thing. With that selected, hit clear history, freeze transformation, modify pivot. Let's go ahead and call that bottom leg. And then we'll go ahead and do a file, save scene. And now we've got the start to his leg, his arm. We'll do his, probably his waist next time. And then we'll look at possibly doing his feet. And we'll tackle the head last. All right, so I've moved some stuff around, so I'm gonna do one more file save, and we'll see you in the next video.